Hi everyone, Eugene here at Panasonic Europe, and in this quick video tutorial we're going to jump into understanding the modes, and specifically the shooting modes that are available on the Panasonic LUMIX L10 and how they relate to the operation of the camera and the mode dial, right? Because we have the shooting modes, but we also have the exposure modes, right? And they actually work in tandem. So first of all, shooting modes. Let's take a look here on the back of the camera so you can have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So once you turn on the camera, you can imagine, well, I'm ready to shoot. I turn on the camera and I'd like to take a video. And then you press the shutter button and it actually takes a photo. Of course, we have a dedicated video button there. You could use that even if you're in photo mode. However, the camera allows you to change the shooting mode between photo, video, or slow and quick video. And that's done by using this nifty little dial here on the back of the camera. So if you have a look, hopefully you can see there are three different icons here. So we have photo, video, and then one that says S and Q. S and Q stands for slow and quick. And just to show you what happens as I toggle through them. So obviously now, if I'm in photo mode, I have everything that's related to my photo recording mode on the display. So we have, of course, we're in aperture priority here. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm standard photo style. I'm shooting JPEG, autofocus continuous, and so on and so forth. If I jump into the menu, you're going to see that starting from the top, we actually have photo relating settings, right? So all the settings that are relating to shooting photos. Now, check out what happens if I come out of the menu and I swap that to video. You see, for a split second, the screen went blank. And then, now if we look on the screen, we have other information. So we have the recording format, we have the resolution, we have the frame rate, we have how much of the sensor we're using, so on and so forth. That's everything, all of that is relating to the actual video mode. Also, if you jump into the menu, what you'll notice right away, you no longer have the photo relating settings here, but you actually have video relating settings, right? And now the last one, and between you and I, slow and quick video is technically part of the video menu. So to make it a little bit easier when we're shooting slow motion footage, Panasonic put a specific dedicated mode so we can customize our settings a little bit easier for that as well. And that's when we go into slow and quick. So if we swap that again, you see once again, I have a different setting that I currently have than on video. So if I just want to do a regular video, go to the middle position. And then if I want to do slow motion, I go to the next position. If I want to change any of the settings now, I have settings such as slow and quick video settings and everything that's related to shooting slow motion content on this particular mode. All right, so hopefully that makes sense when it comes to the shooting modes. So we can shoot photos, we can shoot videos, and we can shoot slow motion videos. And then we have the menus corresponding to that. But on top of that, we also have, if we take a quick look again here on the camera, if I just put this down here, we have what we typically call the mode dial. And what you can see here on the mode dial is actually quite different compared to other Lumix cameras and maybe other brands as well. So you have your typical intelligent auto mode, which is setting the camera to completely automatic. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. The camera does amazingly, and if you're a beginner, that's gonna be really, really helpful. And I actually recommend using that to start with, and then just analyze the photos. Look at the aperture setting, look at the shutter speed, look what the camera did to get that right exposure, and then try to do it yourself. So it's a really good way to learn. Once you graduate from that, you start to go into P. We're talking about program auto exposure. That's also an auto exposure mode, but it doesn't do anything of the fancy, color saturation, scene detection that intelligent auto does. You actually still get a little bit of control when it comes to the settings that you want to have on the camera. Moving on from there, we have these two, which are, I would call them sister settings. We have the aperture priority and shutter priority. And how does this work? So basically, all you need to do, if you set it to aperture priority, you can set the aperture and the rest of the settings are automatically set by the camera. Similarly, if you're going to shutter priority, you set the shutter speed manually and everything else is set by the camera completely automatically. And then once you graduate from aperture and shutter priority, you can go directly to manual mode. And this is where you can set the aperture, shutter speed, everything that's related to the exposure settings completely manually on the camera. But then you also see these C1s. So they have C1 all the way to 5. And believe me or not, C5 actually has sub-custom modes within the menu as well. So let's say that you find yourself keep toggling between aperture priority, manual, shutter priority, and so on and so forth. And every time you toggle between these, you have to retweak your settings, right? So the great thing about the custom modes is that you can take any of these modes, set in exactly what settings you want, and then save it. So save those settings to one of these positions. And now I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. So right now, as you can see here, I'm actually quite a big fan of shooting in aperture priority. I've got a beautiful aperture ring here on the camera. So I like to make use of this ring. I like to have all the settings that I want for example, portrait shooting. And I'd like to actually have those saved to, let's say, custom 1, along with all of the menu settings. So how are you going to do that? So I'm just going to turn on the camera and show you what to do. The first thing to do is to, of course, keep in mind we are now in aperture priority. We are going to set the camera to photo mode because I want to take photos. Again, we're talking about shooting modes a little bit earlier. Then you can go into the menu. You can go and tweak any of the settings exactly as you like. So just to give you an example, we're going to do photo style on vivid. We're going to set the aspect ratio to 3:2. We're going to set the recording file format to RAW, and so on and so forth. And if you're happy with that, and you want to save that to a custom setting, and you can imagine this can be done for all the rest of the settings, you then scroll down until you see this settings spanner, go to the right, and then go into the settings cog, this fourth option here called setting. Then go to the right to this option that says save to custom mode, and it says photo because we are in photo shooting mode, right? And you can do this for video as well. So that's why we have a distinct option here. Select that and voila, we have all of the different custom modes that I was telling you about, plus the extra on the on the custom 5. So we got 3 extra ones on the custom 5. So let's say I want to save this to custom 1. Let's do that. Set it to custom 1. Yes, that has been completed. And guess what? Now, let's do a brief demo. Let's say I actually want to change when I'm in aperture priority to standard. I want to set the aspect ratio to 4:3, and I want the JPEG format when I'm in aperture priority. So right now, of course, if I take a photo, those are going to be the settings that are going to be used. However, if I just, again, turn the camera here, go to custom 1. There we go. Have a look at the menu again. And what you're going to see here is the exact settings that we just saved. So now if you go to the menu, you can see how photo style is on vivid, aspect ratio is on 3:2, and the recording file format is on RAW. If I switch back to aperture priority, go back into the menu, and you can see we're back to standard, 4:3 JPEG, and hopefully you got the idea by now. So essentially you get the shooting modes, and then the corresponding menus linked to the shooting modes, and then you have the exposure modes that you can use with the mode dial, and you can customize those as well exactly to your liking. So hopefully you found this a slightly longer video helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.